What's going on, YouTube? Uberman here. So I got robbed, okay? Not on a trip. My personal home was robbed through this window right here. Um, I'll give you a little bit of background. Most of you know that my ex stepdaughter was living here. I took her in, drove up to Illinois, picked her up, brought her back, gave her this room right here. I got rid of my studio, moved it all into my bedroom, which is why I used to have a bed behind me in all of my most recent videos. Um, so one day I decided to take my brother and my kids and go visit some family in Kansas that we haven't seen in a while. We didn't have much time, that's why we were only gone 16 to 18 hours. But my ex stepdaughter had to stay here because she had to work. So, never had an issue from the beginning of time since I moved into this house. Never had an issue. I've left my doors unlocked. I've left tools out in the driveway. Never had anything come up missing before. Well, I came back and I walk into my house and I felt like something was off. My doors deadbolt from the inside and the outside with a key. So even though they got in through this window, they couldn't go out the doors because they're bolted shut. Without a key, you can't get out of them. So that's the good thing. That limited what they were able to take out because, they had to take everything out through this window. And from the looks of it, it was one guy. And I'm pretty sure it's my neighbor who lives two doors down, which coincidentally happens to be my ex stepdaughter's good friend that would come over and knock on the door all the time. He hasn't been around in quite some time since this whole thing took place. Haven't seen him since. So my daughter was still at work. I call her job and I ask her what happened to my house. I didn't even realize at first that we had been robbed. My kids came in. They said, "Can we play PlayStation?" And I said, "Go for it." And they came back and said, "Did you take the PlayStations?" And when I ran in there, PS4 was gone. PS3 was gone. My son made straight A's, and I went out and bought him the new Guitar Hero Live, a two-pack, so him and I could play together. It was about $160, $170 after tax. Um, Obviously, the PlayStation 3, that was about $250 after tax. The PlayStation 4 I bought brand new. It was $499, I believe, the 500 gig. I had extra controllers for everything. Several video games came up missing. All of the controllers for Guitar Hero came up missing. The new Guitar Hero guitars came up missing. There's these little USB connectors for like Skylanders that my kids play. Left the Skylanders game, but took the control to make Skylanders work. It was obviously somebody young, younger, that came in here and did it because I've got this entire setup right here. I've got cameras, mics, I've got a computer. That's you don't want to know what I paid to build it. There's so many things in this house that could have been taken. My pistol, ammunition, GoPro. I mean, there's so many things that you could have easily carried out of this house that are worth probably just as much, if not more, than the two PlayStations and the video games. Somebody was they knew what they were looking for. They came in the house and they knew exactly what it was they were going to take. And, they accomplished that. And I keep my gate locked. We have a privacy fence around the entire house. Gates locked. I mean, somebody had to go through some trouble. And this window was open. The screen was ripped off. And what I found interesting is that none of the screens around the entire house were taken off. It was only this one. Only this screen was taken off, and this window was left unlocked from the inside. So I tried talking to my daughter, ex-stepdaughter, about it, and asked her why this window was unlocked, or who she had in the house. That was my theory, is that she invited this kid from down the street over, knowing he's not supposed to be here, came in the house when she wasn't looking, unlocked the window. He knew when she had to be at work, came back. He had, until 1 o'clock in the afternoon from the time she went to work at around 11 to take whatever he wanted. So, I talked to her about, she said she didn't have anybody over, but she said that she left the window unlocked. And I said, okay, well, since it's your friend that came in the house and stole my stuff, and since it's your fault for leaving the window open, you're going to reimburse me actual cost to replace all of this equipment. And she said she wasn't paying for And it kind of took me by surprise, you know. I really expected her to take responsibility for it, and she dropped the ball. And when she said that she wasn't going to pay for anything, I told her she could kick rocks, and I kicked her out. And she still owes me $45 for gas, and she told me that I owe her $200 for kicking her out. Logic of kids, right? Then her boyfriend texts me and says, this is great, guys. I mean, you should get a laugh out of this. I was pissed off, and I got a laugh out of it. Her boyfriend texted me and said, hey, it's not her fault. She doesn't owe you anything. It was probably somebody from YouTube. He said, you are semi-famous now, and that brings enemies. I'm looking at my text message, and I'm just like, I wanted to slap him for being stupid, you know, it's for being stupid, for being an idiot. Give me a break. Yeah, some YouTube subscriber flew down here, climbed through one window knowing it would be open, took 2 PlayStations, got on a plane, went back home, right? Give me a break, man. It's ridiculous. Anyway, you know, a lot of stuff got stolen. What's worse to me is the fact that it was stuff that really, it's stuff my kids use. I don't go in the living room and play on the PlayStations. They play Minecraft and they play Guitar Hero. They play I've got a ton of games, and some of those got taken too. They play those, not me. You know, this person stole from my kids. And right before Christmas and Thanksgiving, it was just horrible. I mean, any time's a bad time, but this was a really bad time to get robbed. Police dusted for prints. They did find some. I guess we'll see what happens with that. In the meantime, what I've been doing over the last several days is collecting inventory. I know it's bright, you probably can't see, but I've got page after page after page with model numbers, serial numbers, everything in this house that's worth anything. I did not have renter's insurance. I've never had it before. I have it now. I've got a paper list. I've also got it on the computer. And then I've got over 200 pictures of all the items in the house, everything that's worth any money. And I have renter's insurance. I also went so far as to get, I'm not really going to go into the details because anybody that sees this is thinking about breaking in. I got a security system with video and motion detecting video constantly. It's going to constantly be recording, but the best part is when it detects motion outside of the house or in the house, it directly notifies me right here. I get an instant message letting me know, and I get to watch the video as it's happening with the ability to call the police. And this doesn't require any monitoring fees, nothing like that. But it gives me a little peace of mind, and at least I've got insurance now, so that if this happens again, I don't end up having to shell out over $1,100 of my own money to replace the things that this idiot stole. But, you know, the big deal to me now is if this person comes back and tries to do it again, I want them caught, regardless of whether I've got insurance to cover it or not. That's not the point. To me, I want this person caught because I can promise you he didn't just steal from me. He's going to steal from somebody else if he hasn't already. So it's been a rough week. I've been really busy. I've got my studio mostly back together. I've still got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to get out of here. As always, guys, like, comment, subscribe, stay safe, and Uber on.